Hi, everyone. This is Jacqui Cooper with JCooperTravels, and I want to welcome everyone to this episode and also remind everyone to like and subscribe because there's a lot of wonderful chats coming, and I want to make sure that you always stay in the loop. So I've had many conversations with my friend Ashley, and I'm going to have her introduce herself in a quick second. So I do want to suggest that you go back into the feed and to find our conversations, but I'll also to make it easier for everyone, I'll also try to find our historic conversations about what we've been doing to be eco-friendly and green, because again, this is very important for all of us. But before we kind of jump into our chat for today, for those that are new to J. Cooper Travels, I just want to share a little bit of background about myself. I love traveling around the world. I love meeting people. I love learning about the cultures and lifestyles. And so many years ago, I became a certified travel consultant. So I definitely can help anyone who has an interest in travel with travel insurance or, any of those areas. But the talk show, I wanted to actually be an educational platform on a lot of different things. And when COVID happened, obviously travel kind of stopped. And so it was rebranded to be more about how do we travel in life? How do we treat each other? How do we travel, within our own career path, personally, family-wise, everything involved with that. So J. Cooper Travels, Love Travel Scotland, Crypto Mom 2 are all educational based. And so the topics that you might find on these talk shows will be very diverse. And, it's all about mind, body, and spirit and a combination of that all together. So that's the other reason why I started the Happiness Factor newsletter, because I wanted to feature different organizations, just like Greenlight Solutions. So that way, as we kind of navigate where we're going, we can also support and help each other. And I've loved over the past few years talking with Ashley to learn more about her group and what they're doing, both to inspire students in a career path to help protect our environment and to help also educate and support corporations that are actually doing the same, because many of the companies years ago that did not think that they were going to become eco-friendly are now realizing they need to become eco-friendly, because if we don't, then we won't have a planet. We will have a planet, but it might not be the quality of life that we want. So we really need to kind of rethink each one of us, what we're doing. And if each one of us makes a difference in a small way, then it adds up to the whole. And so, with that, I want to hop over and welcome Ashley to our chat. And if you are on the audio side, hop over and also subscribe to the YouTube side, because we're going to be showing a website platform and you might want to kind of check that out as well. So Ashley, welcome. How are you doing today?
Doing great. Great to be here.
Yeah, so why don't you I know I'm going to be showing the website in a quick second, but why don't you kind of give an overview about Greenlight Solutions and the projects that you're working on? I know today we're going to be kind of singular in our focus, and we
Mhm.
have a number of other episodes that are scheduled, which I'm really excited to, kind of get to as well. But why don't you give an overview as to how Greenlight kind of started, your role in it, and then we'll kind of talk about what we're going to be focusing on today.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So, Greenlight Solutions helps students launch their sustainability careers, and we help businesses go green. So, we are actually celebrating 10 years as an organization this Earth Month, which we are really excited about. And we have 5 programs that are really making an impact in the sustainability community, not only locally, but internationally. We have our student-led sustainability projects that partner college students with businesses to help them meet their sustainability goals, which provides capacity to the businesses in sustainability, but also helps the students gain that real-world experience to really be effective change makers in the sustainability space once they enter the job market. We have our green event services, which I know we'll discuss today. We have our S3 program, where we actually get our alumni hired in sustainability roles post-graduation. And we also have our sustainability seminars, where we go out into businesses and teach them about sustainability. We have lunch and learns to really provide that education.
That sounds great. So today, I know I'm about to share screen. Today we're going to be talking about one particular area. And do you want to talk a little bit about what the team provides and what the green event services are?
Absolutely. So this is one of our newest programs. We've now worked with about 5 different events, and the Green Event Services is really a team that comes to your event, and we help you achieve high waste diversion from the landfill. So we can provide everything from recycling, compost, um, food donations. We worked with a marathon. We helped them with clothing donations because the runners would, throw off their clothes as they run. So we donated all of those clothes. We donated the food that wasn't used. Whatever waste streams that event has, we customize our services to. We can work with the vendors to divert waste there. Really just all in all, taking that waste stream and that sustainability impact kind of off of your shoulders as an event manager, and we take care of it.
So, if someone is interested in doing this, what do they do? Do they contact you? And I'm going to be scrolling. We're going to talk about different areas, but what's the first step? And also feel free to mention the website's name or phone number as we're talking so people can write it down as well.
Absolutely. So that's GL Solutions. Solutions is plural, .org. glsolutions.org. And this is our green event services under business opportunities. So how you would get involved, we would just have a chat. And that link is actually the button to schedule a call with me is on this page.
So I see that there's different categories, waste services. So um, do you train people to participate with your team, or is it just your team? How does this work?
Yeah, so it really, again, depends on your event's needs. And, we discover those opportunities through conversation. But we provide those volunteers. So we coordinate all the volunteers, we recruit the volunteers, all the day of event management and coordination of those volunteers. And before they even arrive on game day, on event day, we train the volunteers to make sure that they are effective in their waste diversion practices. We
So
also, yeah.
what happens if they don't have bins or signage or things like that? Do you provide or can you give guidance as to where to go for that?
Absolutely. So we have done everything from, providing the bins to the signage, because the signage is very important in effective waste diversion. And yep, so we'll come prepared with whatever materials and supplies are needed.
Usually about how many volunteers or individuals can you provide to an event? Is there a certain size event that you can manage and handle comfortably, or is it any size event?
Yeah, so I would say any size. So we've worked with events up to 10,000 in attendees.
Wow.
Mhm. Yep. So the amount of volunteers that we bring is really based on A, the services that you would like us to provide, and B, the amount of attendees. So, of course, the amount of waste that will be generated.
So when a company is thinking about doing this, how do they budget for this? How does this help them by thinking about incorporating this into their bottom line? Because I'm sure that we all want to feel good, but I know a lot of companies also are thinking about economically, how does this help them? So can you share any information about that?
Absolutely. So, um, at the end of the day, a lot of events, they have a huge trash problem.
Mhm.
So we also offer that, litter pickup. A lot of managers say, hey, after our event, you can't see the ground. There is so much waste everywhere. It's just crazy. So I have received amazing testimonials from the marathons that that we've worked with, the festivals that we've worked with, and they said, hey, our team would have been there until 2 more days picking up all that trash if it weren't for your team. So at the end of the day, you are saving on that time that you would be paying those employees to be picking up that litter and really diverting that waste. Also, we provide a PR branding toolkit, meaning that these are the pieces or impact reporting to really be able to talk about your sustainability impact and your waste to carbon impact. And sustainability sells. People want to work with businesses and festivals that care about this. Customers are demanding this, and so that's really a nice marketing opportunity as well.
And I would also think that by going this route, there are ways to think about how to be more cost effective.
Yep.
Um, again, sometimes, uh, like you said, it's from the trash side to the composting side. There's a lot of different pieces, but you're saving the time for the people who are managing the events because that's one thing that you're an expert at. So that
Mhm.
means that they can hand that off to you and not have to think about coordinating, which is everyone knows time is money, and especially
Mhm.
when you are trying to manage a small or a large event. If you have an expert in one area, then you can kind of breathe a sigh of relief and go on to the next little emergency that might be popping up, and focusing on
Exactly.
the actual mission of the event instead of
Mhm.
some of the side areas, which is this.
Exactly. And that's the feedback that I've received. They say, we have so much going on at this event, so many moving parts. We have a team of 20 just trying to figure all of this out. Thank God you took off the waste, the waste portion off of our hands. Yeah.
And I'm sure that in terms of just cost savings, it's probably more impactful the way that you're doing it than if it was done the traditional way. So I'm sure that in the long run, both from the planet perspective as well as from the event perspective, they're going to be saving money, from that perspective too. So, right now you're just doing Arizona. Do you foresee that you might be expanding out to other areas?
You if the event will, support travel and things like that, then we're absolutely open to it.
Yeah, because again, everyone who's listening, if you have an expert and you are thinking about doing this, there might not be a local expert in that area. So I'm sure that Greenlight can source and do the research very effectively in other places as well because of their experience. So if you're not in Arizona but you're listening and you actually have an interest in this, still reach out because
Mhm.
this is a network that Greenlight is developing. And
Mhm.
so state by state, this is something that I know that you've worked with other, you've worked with students who are now in companies, so you have an international network of people.
Yeah.
So I know that you can do this not just in Arizona, even though you're focusing locally because of where you're based and everything. So what other things would you like to share about for this more targeted topic of event management in the green area?
Yeah, so we just had our most recent event. I'd love to tell about a success story.
Yeah.
Yeah, so our most recent event was the second year that we worked with the Mesa Marathon. And what we did for them, they had 7,000 attendees, and we brought the volunteers, did all the recruitment, coordination, training, and then we brought recycling as well as we did the food donations. So all of the boxes, oh gosh, I think it was 1,600 pounds of food that would have gone straight to the landfill. Perfectly good food that just wasn't used. We diverted all of that by donating it to a local nonprofit that works with the homeless in Mesa. Um, we also did all the clothing donations. Of course, we talked about when the runners are, in the race, they take off their, pieces of clothing, donated all of that. And then also the linens. So people will use the towels to dry their face from the sweat, but then, throw that away as well. So we were able to wash all of those. And then we are finding a local partner to donate those as well. and really what each of those, oh, and then we did all of the materials sorting. So a lot of people, don't recycle correctly. So we had people, our volunteers in the back, sorting through the bins to make sure that our recycle bin and our landfill bin all had the correct materials in place. Because we all know that if we put the incorrect items in the big recycling dumpster, likely that recycling dumpster is going to go straight to the landfill, unfortunately. So we made sure that our recycling dumpster was perfect in terms of items in there. So really what this resulted in was 41% waste diversion, which is really awesome for that large of a race. Next year we're making a couple of tweaks with the marathon, and that will increase. We diverted over 3.9 tons from the landfill,
That's
and we're really proud of that.
Yeah, no, we don't always think about what we put into the recycling bin, even though our intent is good, and or, what we throw out, that could be maybe reused, to reduce, and recycle. And so the idea that at major events, there's someone with eyes on that can look at each of the components and say, okay, this can be recycled, or maybe this cannot be. You know, that's that's definitely an expertise. And, I don't want to say we're lazy, but sometimes as individuals, we are lazy. We just kind of do what is simple,
Yeah.
and the simple might not be the correct way to recycle. As we get more attuned to this, even though it's sort of in our nature, but I don't know that we're actually always focusing on the right way. So that's why what you're doing is incredible and also really important.
Thank you. Absolutely. And, into that education piece, we do also bin guard, which is our term for, well, the term in the sustainability space when you stand by the bins. And when an attendee walks up and they're about to throw away their trash, we say, "Oh, that's recycle," or "Oh, that's landfill," and just give them a quick reminder. So just kind of providing that attendee education as well that they can take home with them.
Yeah, and people do, and especially, kids do too. So it's really important to kind of,
Mhm.
for each generation to kind of educate, so that way it becomes second nature to them. So why don't you go ahead and mention again the website for everyone who wants to participate, or, again, everyone refer a friend. If you know someone else that might have an interest, in Arizona or not, because I know that I have a lot of listeners, definitely. What is the website that they should visit?
GL Solutions, solutions is plural.org, glsolutions.org.
And I'll also have these, if you don't have paper and pen, don't worry, I'll have these links within the blog below, so that way you can come back to this episode and, check everything out. The Greenlight Solutions Foundation is involved with a lot of different projects, so I
Mhm.
definitely suggest that you hop on their website so you can see all the good things that they're doing.
Yeah.
And, from career development to a host of other things. And that's, these are the topics that we've had in the past. The one last thing that I'll just mention to everyone who's listening is that if you are thinking about going solar, have any questions about solar, definitely reach out to me. I recently did do solar on my home, which I'm really excited about. And I also became associated with the same solar company that I have on my house. And the reason why I became associated is because it has insurance for 30 years on the work, as well as the panel. So again, that's a whole nother episode that I did, but since we're talking about green, solar is definitely something to think about, and it's nice to be
Mhm.
able to own your own energy. So Ashley, any last minute thoughts before we sign off?
No, just really great to be here. And again, we have not just the Green Events program, we have our student led projects where you can have a group of students help you meet your sustainability goals. Not only that, but we support organizations in hiring on our solutioneers. We have 350 solutioneers that we have trained in sustainability project management, and they're doing good things in the workforce. So
Yeah, they're doing a
check
lot
out
of
our
great
website.
things. They're
Oh,
doing
yeah,
a lot
all the opportunities.
Yeah, they're doing a lot of great things, and I cannot speak highly enough of Greenlight. So everyone, remember, as I always say, be kind to yourself, be kind to others. We're all so connected. We're all part of one world, and have a great day. Thanks, everyone. Bye.
Thank you.